Have you ever felt trapped in a loop of negative thoughts? Do worries, regrets, and fears replay in your mind so persistently that they paralyze your will? Pause for a moment and consider this. What truly governs our lives? The external events around us, or how we choose to respond to them? Today, we will explore how Stoic philosophy can free you from the chains of negative thinking, forge an unshakable mind, and grant you complete control over your life. This is not mere theory. It is a battle-tested toolkit that has empowered warriors and great leaders to master their own minds. You can do the same. Stay until the end of this video, as I will share a powerful exercise from Marcus Aurelius that will help you instantly break free from toxic thoughts. 1. The danger of negative thinking. Have you ever felt trapped within your own mind? Negative thoughts replay endlessly, like an infinite loop, draining your energy, paralyzing your will, and casting a shadow over everything around you. There is nothing more dangerous than becoming a prisoner of your own thoughts without even realizing it. We often believe that disappointment, or pressure in life comes from the outside world, a harsh criticism, a failure, an unexpected misfortune. But the truth is, it is not events themselves that cause our suffering, but how we interpret them. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your perception of it. And you have the power to revoke that perception at any moment." It is our thinking that shapes our emotions, not external circumstances. The real danger of negative thinking is that it does not remain just a fleeting emotion. It can become a mental pattern. When a negative thought arises, if we are not aware of it, it takes control. For instance, if you make a small mistake at work and immediately think, "I'm incompetent," your mind will begin searching for past failures to reinforce that belief. Over time, this cycle creates a deeply ingrained negative self-perception. Each time you face a challenge, this pattern reactivates automatically, making you feel discouraged, incapable, and powerless to change. A simple example: imagine you are driving and someone suddenly cuts you off. If you have a negative mindset, you'll immediately become angry, thinking, "How can people drive so recklessly? The world is full of selfish fools." And that frustration lingers, ruining your entire day. But with a different perspective, you might think, "Maybe he's in a hurry because of an emergency," and continue your day unaffected. The difference between these two reactions doesn't lie in the event itself. The event remains the same, but in how you interpret it. However, the greatest danger of negative thinking isn't just that it makes us feel miserable. It paralyzes us. Imagine you are a ship, and negative thoughts are chains holding you in place. No matter how hard you row, you remain stuck. Someone who constantly believes they're not good enough will never seize new opportunities. Someone who fears failure will never dare to step beyond their comfort zone. Negative thinking can take a person with immense talent and potential and reduce them to inaction, bound by fear. What's even more concerning is that our environment does little to help us resist negative thoughts. Modern society constantly reminds us of what we lack or how we fall short. You scroll through social media and see others who are more successful, more attractive, and wealthier than you. You turn on the news and are bombarded with negativity. These influences seep into your mind, reinforcing the belief, "I'm not good enough. I'm not lucky enough. I don't have what it takes." This is a dangerous trap, one that is easy to fall into if you are not vigilant. But do you know this? Negative thinking is not a life sentence. You weren't born with it. You learned it over time. And that means you can unlearn it. Aristotle once said, "We are what we repeatedly do." If you can train yourself into negative thinking, You can also train yourself into strength and resilience. Stoic philosophy offers a clear solution. Take control of your thoughts, for they are the only thing you truly own. No one can force you to think a certain way. Only you have that power. If you learn to master your thoughts, you will master your emotions. If you master your emotions, you will master your actions. And when you master your actions, you master your life. Imagine a door in your mind. Every time a negative thought appears, instead of letting it enter and take control, pause and ask yourself, is this thought truly useful? If not, close the door. Focus on what strengthens you, not what drags you down. Negative thinking is not your nature. It is merely a habit, and habits can be changed if you seek to live a strong, free life, one unshackled by fear. It begins with mastering your mind. The greatest victory is not conquering the world outside, but conquering your own mind. 5 Stoic principles to conquer negative thinking. 1. Control what you can. Let go of what you cannot. We spend too much time worrying about things beyond our control. We stress over what others think of us, tomorrow's weather, the economy, the past that's already gone, and the future that has yet to arrive. We try to control everything around us, and when things don't go as planned, we feel powerless, frustrated, and lost. But if we take a closer look, there is one crucial truth that most people fail to recognize. Not everything is within our control, and once you truly grasp this, you will find real peace. Stoicism emphasizes a crucial concept that can completely transform the way you live: the dichotomy of control. The distinction between what you can control and what you cannot. Epictetus once said, "Some things are within our control, while others are not." Peace comes when we focus on what we can control and let go of the rest. This is not just a philosophical idea. It is a powerful tool that reduces stress, enhances decision-making, and allows you to live a life less dictated by external circumstance. Imagine holding 2 stones in your hands. The first stone represents what you can control: your thoughts, actions, attitude, and how you respond to events. The second stone represents what you cannot control: the past, the words of others, the outcome of a situation, other people's actions, and unpredictable events. If you insist on gripping both stones, you will feel tense and exhausted. But if you let go of the second stone, you will instantly feel lighter. So how can you apply this principle to daily life? First, learn to clearly distinguish between these 2 categories. A simple yet incredibly effective exercise is to draw 2 circles. The smaller inner circle represents what you can control: your thoughts, decisions, attitude, and actions. The larger outer circle represents what you cannot control: what others think of you, your past, and random events in life. Make it a habit to ask yourself, which circle does this belong to? If it belongs to the inner circle, focus on it. If it belongs to the outer circle, learn to let it go. For example, if someone insults you, you cannot control their words, but you can control how you respond. If you are preparing for an exam or a job interview, you cannot guarantee the final outcome, but you can control how well you prepare. When you learn to focus on what you can do, rather than worrying about what you cannot change, you will feel more empowered, more confident, and far less stressed. But letting go does not mean indifference or avoiding responsibility. On the contrary, it means channeling your energy into what truly matters, instead of wasting it on things beyond your reach. Think about it. If you spend most of your time worrying about an uncertain future, rather than improving your skills or bettering yourself, who will have the advantage? The person who invests in what they control, or the one who squanders their time on what they cannot change? Once you understand and apply this principle, your life will become lighter, You will no longer be frustrated by the unexpected, no longer stressed by what you cannot change, and most importantly, you will no longer feel powerless. You will become the master of your life, rather than allowing life to master you. Remember, peace does not come from controlling everything. It comes from knowing when to let go. 2. You are not your thoughts. Have you ever noticed that your mind is constantly talking to itself? Thoughts arise endlessly, from trivial questions like, "What should I eat today?" to deeper ones like, "Am I on the right path?" But the danger lies in the fact that not all thoughts serve us. Sometimes, the mind becomes our worst enemy, sowing doubt, worry, fear, and even self-destruction. And we instinctively believe that everything we think must be true. But the truth is, you are not your thoughts. Epictetus once said, "People are not disturbed by things, but by the views they take of them." Your thoughts do not always reflect reality. They are simply interpretations shaped by your experience, emotions, and biases. This means that if you do not take control of your thoughts, they will control you. Imagine your mind as the sky and your thoughts as passing clouds. Some clouds are bright, bringing clarity and positivity. Others are dark and heavy, weighing down your mood. But no matter how they appear, the sky remains unchanged. Vast, steady, and unaffected by fleeting clouds. You are the sky, expansive, resilient, and not defined by any single thought. The problem is that most of us do not know how to separate ourselves from our thoughts. When a negative thought arises, we immediately accept it as truth. For example, if you make a mistake and your mind says, "I'm incompetent," are you truly incompetent? Of course not. It is merely a fleeting thought, triggered by a moment of disappointment. But if you believe it, that thought will take root in your subconscious, eroding your confidence, instilling fear, and limiting your potential. Try a simple exercise. When a negative thought appears, instead of instantly believing it, create a mental distance. Ask yourself, is this thought entirely true? If someone else were in this situation, would I judge them as harshly? Is there another way to see this? Questioning your thoughts helps reveal an important truth. Thoughts are just thoughts. They do not define you. Carl Jung once said, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate." This means that if you do not learn to observe and regulate your thoughts, they will control your life without you even realizing it. But once you become aware of your thoughts, you can choose how to respond to them, rather than being led by them. One of the most effective ways to train this skill is through thought observation. Meditation. Every day, take just 5 to 10 minutes to sit in silence, close your eyes, and watch your thoughts pass by without judgment. Imagine your thoughts as leaves floating down a river. They come and they go. You don't need to dive into the river to grasp each leaf. Simply observe and recognize that you are not your thoughts. With consistent practice, you will find yourself less controlled by negativity. And over time, you will develop the ability to choose which thoughts deserve your attention and which should simply drift away. Stoic thinking teaches us that the only thing we have absolute control over is our thoughts. But to achieve this, we must first understand that we are not our thoughts. We are merely the observers of them. Once you master this, you will no longer be ruled by negative emotions, burdened by the past, or anxious about what has yet to come. You will attain true tranquility, a mind that is strong, free, and undisturbed by anything beyond your control. 3. Words shape reality. Have you ever noticed that the way you speak about yourself can influence your emotions, actions, and even the outcomes in your life? Sometimes, simple phrases like, "I'm not good enough," "I can't do this," or "life is too difficult," become invisible barriers that hold you back. But if you can change your words, you can also change how you perceive yourself and the world around you. Stoic philosophy emphasizes that the way we interpret the world determines our emotions and actions. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Our life is what our thoughts make it." This means that if you constantly repeat negative thoughts and use disempowering language, you will eventually accept them as truth. But if you change the way you speak about yourself, you can reshape your mindset, and that mindset will influence your actions and the results you achieve in life. Imagine two people facing the same failure. The first says, "I failed. I'll never succeed." The second says, "I learned an important lesson. Next time, I'll do better." Who do you think will have the motivation to keep going? Clearly the second person, not because they are inherently more capable, but because they use language that faces them forward instead of holding them back. Words are not just a tool for communication. They are a tool for programming the mind. If you tell yourself negative things every day, you reinforce a false belief about yourself. Conversely, if you learn to use language with intention, you can rewire your thinking and build a stronger mindset. To use language in a way that benefits you, the first step is to recognize the negative phrases you frequently use. Whenever you face a challenge or a difficulty, pay attention to how you speak about yourself. If you often say, "I can't do this," reframe it as, "I haven't mastered this yet, but I can learn." This shifts your perspective from failure to growth. If you have a habit of telling yourself, "I'm terrible at this," replace it with, "I am improving every day." This way you free yourself from self-doubt and cultivate a mindset of progress. Or when everything seems to be going wrong and you think everything is falling apart, shift your perspective by reminding yourself, "This is just a difficult phase, and I will get through it." The difference in wording may seem small, but its impact is profound. When you change the way you use language, you are not only shifting your mindset, but also reprogramming how your brain processes information. If you consistently speak about yourself in a positive and encouraging way, over time, you will begin to believe in yourself more. As your mindset changes, your emotions will follow. You will feel more confident, remain calm in the face of adversity, and most importantly, take decisive action toward your goals. Words do not only shape your own reality, they also influence how others perceive you. If you constantly complain and speak negatively, those around you will sense that energy and treat you accordingly. But if you speak with positivity, responsibility, and inspiration, you will attract people with the same strong mindset. Epictetus once said, "First learn the meaning of what you say, and then speak." This means we should not speak mindlessly, but rather choose our words carefully, so that they reflect the person we aspire to become. 4. Choose the right environment. Avoid negativity. Have you ever felt that no matter how much you try to change your mindset, those around you keep pulling you back? You could read dozens of self-improvement books and practice positive thinking every day. But if your environment is filled with complaints, pessimism, and negativity, you will inevitably be influenced and revert to old habits. Seneca once said, "Associate with those who will make a better man of you." This means your environment has a direct impact on your mindset and emotions. Imagine placing a flower in two different environments. One is rich, fertile soil with ample sunlight and water. The other is dry, rocky ground. Which flower do you think will thrive? In the same way, you are a product of your environment. If you surround yourself with positive, inspiring individuals, you will grow and flourish. But if you immerse yourself in a negative environment, filled with doubt and criticism, toxic thoughts will consume you, no matter how hard you try to resist. So how do you choose the right environment and avoid negativity? First, evaluate the relationships around you. Observe whether the people you frequently interact with motivate and inspire you. Do they encourage you to strive for more? Or do they constantly complain, dwell in pessimism, and drag you down? If you often hear statements like, "No one can do that," "Life is unfair," or "Stop dreaming, just accept reality," be cautious. These words can slowly infiltrate your mind, eroding your belief in yourself. Be proactive in building a network of positive relationships. This does not mean you must cut off all your current connections, but you should limit the time you spend with those who have a negative mindset. Instead, seek out people with a growth-oriented mentality, those who inspire and motivate you. If you cannot find such individuals in your immediate environment, look for them through books, podcasts, or like-minded communities. When you surround yourself with positive influences, you will naturally absorb their mindset and gradually transform for the better. Another crucial factor is being mindful of the content you consume daily. We live in an era where information is accessible anytime, anywhere. This can be a double-edged sword. If you spend too much time consuming negative news, scrolling through social media, and comparing yourself to others, your mind will be filled with negativity without you even realizing it. Instead of allowing yourself to be swept away by such content, be intentional about what you read, watch, and listen to each day. Read books that uplift and motivate you. Listen to podcasts on personal growth, and watch videos that expand your perspective and inspire you. 5. Take immediate action. There is a truth that few people realize. Negative thoughts cannot exist when we are in motion. We often get trapped in cycles of worry, self-doubt, and fear, not because the world is too harsh, but because we spend too much time thinking without actually doing anything. When you hesitate, you give negative thoughts the opportunity to take control. But when you act, you reclaim control over your life. Stoic philosophy is not just a system of thought. It is a philosophy of action. Epictetus once said, "Don't explain your philosophy, embody it." This statement underscores that discussing or analyzing how to do something is far less important than actually doing it. If you want to change your life, you cannot simply sit and hope for better things to come. You must take action immediately. So why do we procrastinate? The most common reason is fear. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of not being good enough. But if you examine it closely, you will realize that fear does not come from reality. It comes from your imagination. When you take action, you will see that most of what you worried about never happens, or if it does, it is far less severe than you expected. Once you immerse yourself in action, your mind becomes occupied with the task at hand rather than dwelling on what might go wrong. Try a simple exercise. When you feel paralyzed by negative thoughts, ask yourself one question: what can I do right now? The answer doesn't have to be something grand. It could be a small action, like standing up and walking around, writing down a plan, picking up the phone to call someone, or simply starting the task you've been procrastinating on for just 5 minutes. The important thing isn't what you do, but that you break the cycle of inaction and start moving forward. One of the most essential principles of Stoic philosophy is intentional action. This means that each day, you must set concrete actions that bring you closer to your goals. Write down 3 things you need to accomplish daily and commit to completing them, no matter how small they are. When you consistently follow through on small actions, they accumulate into significant changes in your life. Another crucial point: don't let perfectionism stop you from taking action. Many people procrastinate because they want everything to be perfect before they begin. They believe they need more knowledge, more experience, or more confidence before taking the first step. But the truth is, no one ever feels fully ready in the beginning. You will never feel good enough until you start. The only way to become better and more confident is through action, learning from experience and continuously improving. Understanding Stoicism is one thing, but applying it to your life is what truly matters. This philosophy is not meant to be merely read or discussed. It is meant to be lived. To make it a part of your daily routine, you must practice its core principles through concrete actions. First, start your day with a Stoic mindset. Instead of immediately getting lost in social media or negative news upon waking up, take a few minutes to journal or reflect on what you can control throughout the day. Ask yourself, what is within my control today? This simple exercise helps you focus on what truly matters and prevents emotions from dictating your actions. Additionally, practice letting go of what you cannot control. When you find yourself frustrated by something beyond your reach, remind yourself that anger or worry will not change reality. Ask yourself, is this truly worth my energy? If not, let it go and shift your attention to what you can influence. Finally, cultivate gratitude. While striving for growth, do not forget to appreciate what you already have. Each night, take a moment to reflect on or write down 3 things you are grateful for that day. This habit will strengthen your mind, foster optimism, and keep you moving forward. If you found this video helpful, be sure to like, subscribe, and share to spread the power of Stoic thinking. And don't forget to check out the next video, as well as other content on this channel, to dive deeper into Stoicism, insights that can completely transform the way you perceive the world. Remember, the greatest victory in life is not conquering others, but mastering your own mind. You have the power to control it. Take hold of it starting today. See you in the next video.